Alrighty, hello, everybody. Still testing out the comfort of the hat. I will stop wearing it at some point, I swear. Oh, dear. How much longer? I can talk. How much longer we got on this? 3 minutes? Alright, we may as well just hang around for a little bit. Hey, Serenity. Why is Twitch selling Roblox to you? Because that's the only advertisers they can get now? Although, why are you getting ads? Hope you're doing well. Oh, dear. Suddenly got a phlegm in my throat. Don't know where that came from. It's cold. You've got more snow on the way. Oh, we've just got so much fucking rain. It's ridiculous. I think of like 4:30 this morning. I was woken up by just like the most horrendous and sudden downpour. Are absolutely going to have flooding when the snow melts. Yeah, we got the flooding already. It is all pretty bad. Hang on, that's the wrong fader. Oh yeah, we're hanging around for a hard drive. Then we'll get to work. Possibly. I mean, it's a Friday, so probably not. I just need to get a spreadsheet out and look busy, right? Yeah, boss, definitely doing some work. Look at all these numbers I'm crunching for the Stortily quats. Yeah, sure, the old Stortily quats. Who doesn't like a nice bunch of Stortily quats? Fucking hell. Do. All right, 20 seconds. The new mug also turned up today, so it holds liquid, so it's working as a mug. Is this petroleum coke again? It is. Wondering if we just try and build a factory. We're going off book already. We do have some more untapped oil down in the crater, but that'll be for power. Um, let's head out this way. I kind of want to put some more radars up. Logistics, organization. Do 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 do. Oh, you're an awesome sync. That's okay. I was like, what are you meant to be making? Nothing. Do, 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 do. Will I make it up here? I believe I can fly. Damn it. I hate it when it doesn't actually swap when you do it. So we took a lot more damage than I thought we would. Oh, you've already skipped some songs. All right, what we got in this little area? Nothing that we're really looking for. But it would be good to get a train track going around grabbing all of these things. All right, so then let's kind of head... About you now. Hello. They're blinding. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Still don't really know what a wonderwall is. It doesn't sound like a compliment. I mean, 4 wonder walls and a roof, and you can be somebody's inspiration shed. And again, that doesn't really sound like a compliment. Is this area covered by radar? Oh, not quite, actually. So maybe putting one more here is better. Don't want it to be overlapping too much, but I do kind of want to expose all of this. Would this be too close? You have to remember, we're not going to have power out here. Do. Ooh, scheiße. Right, I doubt this will have one close enough. But... okay, we did. Yeah, that would be too far, even if we could get it. Someone trying to summon night? I mean, aren't we always? Oh, cat, get out of the fucking way. God, what is this, real life? Can you go back to trying to knock something off a shelf? Come on. I even see that. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, got some nitrogen gas, got some water, got some uranium. Do 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 do. Hey, Emerald, and cheers for the luck. All right, so let's head down about here. Was I anticipating Overwatch minus the 2? I mean, I think one of the new heroes is available to test, but we'll jump in when they do all the updates on the 11th for me. Hey, Tiny. She has a fan.
Oh, you are a professional, Boss Bird.
I see what you did there. All right. Well, we seem to be having a second go at it, so maybe this one. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. Well, now I really am blue. Dear. Have to feed yourself the skips you normally get from night. Sad days. Hey, thank you for the resub and welcome. Hope you're doing well.
Arno Keysman's just subscribed for 3 months. Thanks to @LordSykes0n for my sub gift.
Dear. Hey, Edmund, thank you for the free stream streak as well. Woot woot, let's do this as well. Let's do this indeed. I can speak English. All right, so then we also kind of need to expand this area out, which I think has got to be the Red Desert. I think that's the only bit we haven't been to yet. That doesn't sound like you. Oh dear. Hope everyone is doing well. Is having a good Friday so far. Like I said, the new mug did turn up. I'm not disappointed with it. I think it looks okay. The artwork's a little bit dark, but I don't think it looks too bad. Oh, I see a possible hard drive. Did it just disappear? We also may not make this. And no, we should be fine. Oh, okay. Fine was possibly overstating it. Bags of room. Get a bus through that. Skinny your teeth on that jump. Plenty of space. Okay, I think there was a hard drive machine, but we must have already done it, and it took it the game a while to realize. That's fine. Because I'm going to say we've done this jump many times, and I hate doing it every time because it's awkward. Let's just go around. Don't know what we just won, but I'm sure some strange voice will tell me what the prizes were. It better not be a dining table set or a bloody speedboat. We are passive, yeah. Why did you pick this? I don't know. Dear. No, we don't have cooling systems. We probably should be making cooling systems by now, and if I didn't spend as much time mucking around as I did, we probably would be. We did a whole factory week. The whole idea was to make progress. I don't even think I can say we made sideways progress. I just think we've we've just wasted a week. No one ever remembers why. I've already picked you up. Shut up. I was going to add a title of my sex tape there, but I was like, no, that sounds just a little bit too, too mean. Alright, we're going to start trying to bring power down there. Oh, I wasn't actually taking any power from that station yet. Okay. Jiminy crickets. Alright. As an accidental song, you don't hate it. Max power. Hello, train. This feels safe. Ah, God damn it. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well, and hopefully got some nice plans for the weekend. There's a song trying to crested, but the bot didn't obey. I hope I have enough for another radar tower. I never actually checked. Because why would you check these things? I don't. Mother trucker. what do I need? The likelihood we'll have what we need to get those is slim, but let's see. I think I can make them from here. I can make 2. God fucking damn it. All right, I don't think we can do it, can we? No. All right, back we go. We're doing anything this weekend. Streaming Sunday. It's probably going to be more Dead Zone Rogue runs. Did I leave? Well, I didn't leave the train, but did the train end up over here so we can take it back? Honestly, at this stage, I honestly don't know what else honestly we have, honestly. Oh, dear. They obviously don't have the YouTube license in the UK. Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. That just makes us feel out of place now. I mean, you can try sending a letter to YouTube and the various music companies in the various jurisdictions, but I don't think they're going to change their ways just because of that. Now, you don't know if you don't try. And I do mean a letter. Postal letters. No emails. Well, the great thing about sending a letter is that it's harder for them just to put it through AI, right? And I'm going to imagine a lot of tech company bosses and, well, the music company bosses are probably all 105, so still know how to open a letter. But a lot of tech bros probably don't know how to open an envelope. Now I'm making crystal oscillators somewhere. But in this great big mess of a factory. Is it over here? No, that's the... whatever the fuck that's called. Am I making crystal oscillators somewhere? I'm changing my mind. Yes, I'm sending this up. I'll find a way up. My lovely, lovely, lovely home. Okay, I don't know where it goes after that. With a man on your back, like a train in the night. Yeah, like a train in the night. All right, there we go. One for Roland, oh for one. Musket hounds are always ready. One for Roland, oh for one. Every time to get ready. I'm on completely the wrong verse. This was such a weird cartoon. Oh, I bet they do. Those are the two things you want in your security services. That they're ready to fight and that they're ready to sing. Actually, I was going to say that's not what you want in your bodyguard, but then now it's that whole film. Actually, no, Kevin Costner didn't sing. Singing being the most important, of course. Although now I do want to hear the Kevin Costner version of I Will Always Love You. I bet he could belt that out. If he's a little bit nervous, I'll allow him to do it as a medley with whatever that song was from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and some kind of rap based around if you build it, they will come. But every time he says come, he wiggles his eyebrows to make it more suggestive. But that is why he built Kevin Costner's dildo factory. Trademark. Not to be confused with Tom Hanks's Strap-On Emporium. Where is this conversation going? Or Danny DeVito's second-hand anal bead store. All right, I'm abandoning this now. The train of funk sure is something. There. Ooh, pretty. There. I'll have to switch to a jetpack soon because for some reason the electric thing doesn't connect to the big cables from the towers. I still don't really understand that limitation, but the cables don't connect to the pack and those poles are way too far apart. Do. All right, so we've got a little bit of oil over there. All right, so let's head out here a little bit. No, I didn't mean to select the icon. I wanted to highlight it. I was going to drop down to pick up that slug, and then I decided against it. I am going to drop down to pick up this Merced Sphere, though. All right, we can make it to where there's... Is this radiation? No, it's sulfur. I got a little bit of sulfur. That's radiation. I don't know where the closest place is going to be for power for this. Probably where we just were, because we've never been out here before. Yeah, I didn't think that through. It's surprising everybody. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. We ended up taking no damage. Hooray! Just as I'd planned. Also, chat, I don't know why, but I've gone on a bit of a kick of listening to game developers talking on podcasts. And the difference between indie game developers who are just like, oh, it's so cool, it's so fun making this game, you know, in my spare time, it's so fun and cool and all this kind of stuff. And then you get the assholes who work at the big companies. And I was listening to someone who worked at Bethesda making Elder Scrolls games. So clearly they haven't done anything for the past 12 years. And they were saying just how difficult it is because the gamers are so mean and miserable, and it doesn't matter what we put out, they're probably going to hate it, like they did with Starfield, which they worked really hard on and was a really good game, and it's not their fault you didn't like it, even though it was shit. Also, don't make us wait 20 years per game, and maybe we won't hype it up so much. Always make the customers, the audience, and the likes. It's just, I find Bethesda and I mean, not Ubisoft game developers, because there aren't any left because they've all been fired. And the people who are working on GTA 6 to be the most arrogant group of people. Ah, no, Elon Musk still exists. The second most arrogant group of people. I absolutely loved the emails that came through from him in the Epstein files thing. The, please let me come to your party, sir. I'm such a cool guy. Had everyone not immediately buy an $80 game? Ah, there's no doubt in my mind that when GTA 6 comes out, I'm pretty sure the base game will be $100. And it will sell like hotcakes, even if it's shit, because it's GTA and people apparently still like it. The radar tower. I honestly don't know where the closest power is there. Okay, that's too long. Oh, we're not full health, so if we fall, we will die. We're fine. Not a bead of sweat on my brow with that one. I still don't really know where I'm trying to take this. Na 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 na. Don't accidentally click anything to get rid of this. Egg. Am I going to end up taking this all the way back to main base? This cannot be the quickest and closest place for this, but I guess it's the adventure we're on. Also, the jetpack did the thing where it kept on making you fly up. If I died because of that, I would have been slightly vexed. How are you getting power? All right, that was finally that one is finally turned on. Go away. Now I know there's some places where you can get crude oil from some of these. Have we just not really not found any in range of our radars? I thought there was one quite near our base, actually. Which way is our base? Where's the space elevator? Where's it gone? We go this way. Here's it going, Tap. Hope you're doing well. No, this is going the wrong way. Is it? I've got too many bloody side factories. That's only going to get worse. Oh, maybe it's just more oil puddles over here. I thought there was one in an area like this. Probably not a bunch, but it's a few nodes. Hello, Poison. Ah, dear. Because, yeah, we're clearly not covering this in the radar because we know there's stuff out there. This is looking like a possible dead zone. I can't imagine it's that empty. And then I guess there's more to this side. Okay, so we're not covering this side either yet. Oh, dear. Grab you. Well, I think of all the songs I requested, only 2 played. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Copacabana. Do. I think we are seeing everything that's up there, actually. That probably involves me building something. I know I should have done it, but it's fine. I think we're going to end up in the drink on this one. We're definitely not making it up there. See if we can keep our feet dry. God, it seems so unusual to not see a train coming out here. Come on. There's enough space there for me to get a foothold. I don't know. If I got to build, I'm not grabbing it. Yet. We're not making that. Because, yeah, there's copper or... Sorry, there's coal or sulfur up there. So that's the sulfur. You want to ever beat this game every time you reach into phase 4, you start a new game? Yeah, I think that, like, I haven't even done phase 4 yet. And, yeah. Determined to beat it this time? But like I said, this factory week has not gone as well as I'd hoped. Hey, Rydog, thank you for the resub.
Rydog 1391 just subscribed for 91 months.
That's a lot of months. It's very much appreciated. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, because I think
Make my day.
the past 2 playthroughs I tried, the one with LP and the one before that, I started on this desert. So it seems really weird not to see anything built out here. This has got to be another one. This one. Mainly just looking at the dancing starfish. He was getting stuck on plastic and rubber, made some blueprints so you don't have to think about making 2,400 plastic. But dang, that still needs rubber. Oh dear. Did I see the photo you sent? Yes. What was weird is, because obviously I sent you a message, and then all I saw on my phone from Discord was WTF, and I was like, wait, what the fuck did I say in that message? Cheers for the look at this. Do you realize that's why he corrected? So yeah, then I opened up the message. This looks like some kind of awful Call of Duty melee weapon. You uninstalled Call of Duty? Holy shit. Oh dear. Oh yeah, we need to come back out of here. Yeah, I'm thinking of building an oil to the purple stuff. Well, purple and the blue stuff. And then I can turn the purple stuff into petroleum coke, because I want a lot of that right now. Petroleum or otherwise. God, this really does feel like a Friday in an office job. I'm just kind of wasting time, volunteering to be the one to go out and buy the bacon rolls. Not paying for them, obviously, but I'll go and pick them up. Hey, right now, thank you for the 125 stream streak. Yay, indeed. But yeah, chat, I think Dead Zone Rogue is the most likely game on Sunday. Unless we can come up with something else in the meantime. Look, I'm perfectly happy with Dead Zone Road. I've still got some of those wave things I need to do. I think. Just not even opening it. You don't need to get killed by a giant power saw. I think it's just one of those things, right? Like, like Overwatch, as it's now called again, is probably the only PvP game I have even the slightest patience for these days. Although, I have a feeling my patience for that game might be wearing thin, but we'll see what February 10th brings. I reckon you're probably up there. You just know if you can't keep up with the gameplay hours, I'll be too far behind the meta and it won't be fun. Yeah, I think that's probably honestly like one of the reasons I like Overwatch is like especially now that the new heroes aren't behind pay. Although, who knows? They might put the heroes back behind a paywall. Now it's going back to Overwatch. I don't know. Although I think with, and again, reading between the lines, kind of in the showcase they did this week, I think Overwatch is going to go in a direction I don't like. It's already been slowly creeping its way there. I think that's kind of why I enjoy like Dead Zone Rogue, right? Just, yeah, they're multiplayer games, but just ones I can play with friends and I don't have assholes ruining my day. Probably need to be on the lookout for the next one of those, I reckon. Is this a hard drive we've already looked at and couldn't open? No. The exact opposite. It was a soft drive we could open. Okay, we must have found the drive that's here already. Now, it's not going to be a factory week next week. We'll probably play a little bit. But yeah, I do kind of want to go into Overwatch on the 11th when all the new stuff will be out for me. we'll do at least one stream, at least one half stream of Cakeverse stuff next week. We're going to try and rob a bank. Says that to look forward to. That's why I brought the baseball cap, so I can hide from the security cameras. I mean, what? Although having my channel name written on the baseball cap possibly wasn't the best idea. I never said I was smart. It's not purple. People will never know it's a Twitch name. Oh dear. I will say, because yeah, I wore it out to the shop last night. It got absolutely soaked because of the rain. And I did have one person ask me what a piece of cake was, and I just kind of smiled and walked away. That's also your normal reaction when someone talks to you. Locally, yes. Otherwise, I'm pretty fine with it. Like, I don't even mean like in person. Like, if I'm not in Guernsey and someone talks to me in person, I'll talk to them. Guernsey is too small, and I just don't trust that. I don't know what I don't trust. But I think everybody is a spy. That'd be very odd. And a spy for whom? Do 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 do. I think we're going to do the speed first, if I've got enough of all of this.
Dimensional upload speed increased. The dimensional shift now no longer cares how complex the components of the original part are, and will save each part as a single collection of particles that can be instanced easily.
Grow shift the body core flow cycle song of a 5-layered shallow state.
I'm working on it, but are you saying there is another layer? Is it a sensor limitation?
All right.
Deepen.
Helpful.
ATS for the let right on. We are listening to probably the correct song for this. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Having a good Friday so far. I do wonder if it is time to do the whole island circle with a train and put a lot of satellite factories out around the coast. That'd be a big project. And we'd have to work on our railway blueprints. God, I really do have that Friday feeling. We've got to try and do something. This isn't going to be the proper song, is it? No, it is not. All right, so that station would be gone, as would most of this factory. But we've got to build around it in the meantime. Alright, I probably never should have built this station here. I should have had this line coming straight down. They kind of split out to go around to different stations, I don't mind. All the round, but yeah, that one probably shouldn't be there. And then we can take the kind of out here, hit the coast for the first time here. This is basically in line with this one. Okay, so we'd have to go around there. We're going to want to build a railway blueprint which has got foundations on it. Yeah, I reckon that's kind of what we do. Did I just build that twice? so much harder to do when you don't have that little pack. That might be too close. I do have a hover pack, and I'm probably close enough that I can use it now. Alright, so then... Honestly, I may have made it a little bit too tight here. Um... No, are you just mad because you don't have an exit? Okay, that's good. We are going to have to cross this track. All right, and then... that probably is the best place for that, unfortunately. Okay, so then we can come down and carry on straight. We can come up and carry on up. What we can't do at the moment is kind of come up and join round. Do I want that though? No, I don't think I do. Ah, so you don't have to make compacted fuel for this one. But But you do have to do a weird blend. What do I need? While I'm thinking about this, actually. Oh shit, where is that? Sulfur? This might be worth trying to do. Me changing my mind about what I'm doing? No. I can't remember if I can just make these. Okay, I can, but I need the ingots. I'm not packaging any turbo fuel anywhere right now. Do. We needed to come out here anyway to check to make sure everything was running okay, so... I should have put an... no, I don't know if I want to waste the hard drives on that right now. We do have to work out the length of these paths onto this roundabout at some point. Are we waiting for... Hey, Trunks, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Having a good Friday so far. You are here? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. The sample of the new mug turned up, so I'm just giving that a test run. I don't mind it. I quite like it, actually. I'm coming around to it. I'm going to keep expecting you to pull off miracles. Yeah, sadly, I know that feeling as well. No, this one doesn't change color. Because that's the one thing I didn't like about the other one, where it changed, like, you can only see the artwork when it's got something hot on it. So I've just gone for a more simple one. But it does have pink on the inside and a pink handle. I'll put it through a couple of washes to make sure that the artwork doesn't just come straight off. I don't think it will. It feels quite well made. Yeah, I'm more on the train. But yeah, I don't think it looks too bad. It's just kind of got the same artwork on both sides. No, I don't have a train that comes from there. I hope. Was that your next pencil holder? And then I got penned. And I will say, at least for me, because when I ordered the samples, they said I wouldn't get the stuff till the end of February. It's actually been less than a week from order to stuff being delivered. Which was a lot quicker than the other place. No, we still actually do have problems down here. That can't be a flow problem anymore. Sums up how you feel. Okay, so you don't have enough fuel. Alright, how did I join all of this up? So you're coming that way and going that way. And then coming along this way. And going to those two. We can try putting a pump over here. I don't think it's going to help. That's right. That's why I didn't want to do this, because it then forces it all the way down. And I definitely don't want that. It's definitely a flow rate problem. No, hang on, I don't want to do that. I think this is going to make things worse. Yeah, I don't think it really helps. I wonder if we... Is a little bit better over here now. Which side of the valve did I put it? That one. Going into the valve. I don't think that. I mean, we are on the very edge of the supply here. I don't think this is going to help. Okay, that is going the right way. Oh, is it? I think what we're learning here, doing one long run probably isn't the best way to do this. No, that's going down ever so slightly. Alright, but if all of the... No, you see, we already have these ones here not working. On TV. I wonder if at a certain point I'm better going down to Mark 1 pipes so they would fill up. Okay, these are starting to fill up. We might be getting somewhere. I'll probably just need to try and increase the flow. If those aren't running at 100%, these won't run at 100%. Because this factory is meant to be efficient, possibly too efficient. I should last a few moments. Hey, I appreciate it, Trunks. Do 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 do. All right, that one's full now. Okay, that is going up slowly but surely. All right. Now. This doesn't matter if the plastic backs up because I've got the blue stuff going into... Yeah, okay. Hey, no one has it going. Welcome, welcome. I want a mayhem. Oh yeah, it's not plastic I need. It's the other one. Oh no, I need plastic to do the bottling thing. So if I do a... How much do I need? 200? Still didn't pay attention to it. 100. Of course, doing this isn't going to help anything, but... Hope you're doing well, I know, and hope you're having a good week so far, and hope you've got some plans for the weekend. You got 10 to 20 centimeters of snow overnight? Fucking awful. Oh, I'm sorry to hear on Owen. There really is no coffee left in that. Hence the bullshit song you requested. Do 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 do. You're just saying you don't have enough pressure to get it up into the turbo fuel machine? This definitely won't help. I guess didn't know. The alum ingots we're gonna have to go and grab from Steel Town. Actually, I don't know if we got that far. I think we might just be at scrap, but that's fine. Do I have silica coming through these things? I do not. Okay, that might be a problem. Do not use the turbo fuel in the jetpack. It's not what we're doing here. Ah, dear. All right, this one is now on a little bit. You have to run your company's operations process for the next little while. The number of stupid people armed with AI is staggeringly grating. Oh dear. I got an ad the other day talking about AI. So it's a AI software for writing books, right? And the whole tagline for the ad was something stupid, right? I can't quite remember what the wording is. But it's basically like you can start your writing journey for free, right? And I was like, well, yeah, you always can. You just need to write. You don't need AI at all. In fact, I would say don't do AI because the amount of AI stupid books I've read are fucking awful. You're getting a lot for AI boyfriends. I do get the occasional ad for AI girlfriends as well. And I think there's a big push in those sites that will soon be banned / illegal. Kind of surprised they're already not. You know, the ones that offer you can put any face on a video. We're not saying what kind of video you can put that face on, but you can put any face on a video. That's not disgusting or worrying at all. The people are clearly taking your last Slack email message and throwing it into ChatGPT, but it's something handled 2 messages before. We'll be back, maybe. Probably not. Well, we will at some point, because I want to change things around, but that's fine. So this guy's an idiot, like ChatGPT has more comprehension and memory than this idiot. Okay, now that is saying something. And the things they won't ChatGPT, things to follow up and understand. I think what I find funniest about AI stuff, I mean, there's a lot of, and again, I can't remember who introduced me to the LinkedIn heroes or whatever it's called, but the nutters who post stuff on LinkedIn. The amount of people who are posting about AI, who in their job title is some kind of AI expert. And it's, yes, and it's all just unhinged nonsense, and it's wonderful. So I think the latest big one, you have an integration developer who's supposed to link a system we are paying for into our system. I think the latest one I read was about basically the Facebook for AI that had been created. And they were saying like it had like 17 million AI people, but it had like 2 people who put all those AIs on it and whatever. And how, you know, that he'd used AI to create the code, and then people were going through it and finding out everything was easily readable. They couldn't ChatGPT how CRMs work. I mean, you can even Google that, right? Which, I mean, now will just get you to ChatGPT anyway. Well, no, Google probably uses their own, which I've got the name of. Gemini? But it's just... Yeah, like I said, I have no doubt in my mind that AI at some point will be useful for humanity. But they're pushing it at too early in a stage, and the amount of money it needs and other resources is staggeringly disproportionate to any benefits it can give mankind, right? AI probably should still be at the university people tinkering with it stage, right? Until it makes the next big jump. and then you probably bring it out to the general public. Yeah, but that's the same with any tool, right? If you give it to somebody who already knows what they're doing, it will probably only improve their workflow, right? But if you give it to someone who relies on the AI or the tool to do the job for them, the work is going to get worse and worse and worse. And this isn't just true of AI. This is true of when computers came into the general workplace, right? Just look at math skills, right? My mental arithmetic is definitely worse than my dad's generation because, you know, they had to do it. We had calculators, but we still did mental arithmetic. And then, you know, actually, no, going to my nephew's generation, comparing me to him, he's like a math genius, but that's a different thing. But most of his generation, very bad at mental arithmetic now, right? So this always happens with any new technology that comes in. But it took a long time for computers to take off and become mainstream. And it took even longer for computers to take off and get into people's houses, right? You know, you think how many computers you had in the workplace before you then took one home. And I think that the thing with AI is it's being shoved down everybody's throats way too soon. And I just think it's bad. And I think the bubble will burst, and I think it will burst incredibly big. It may even take a couple of big brands down with it. Where was I going? Steel Town. No, not Steel Town. I want to go to Aluminium Town. Doesn't get any better than taking down some brands. And yeah, I think this is the thing. Like, I think, you know, because I used AI as a little bit of a helper when I was trying to do Godot stuff, which I'm still working on, but not as much because I want to get other stuff done first. And using it as part of the tool as I'm teaching myself was quite useful. Sometimes it taught me what not to do, and sometimes it taught me a better way of doing things, right? ChatGPT and OpenAI, I think, will be the first one to fail. Honestly, Facebook's, whatever Facebook's is called, do they do Llama? May also fail. Google is in the strongest position, I feel, because most people use Google Docs, and I think having AI being integrated into things you use is how people will start to use AI, right? It's using AI as a cleverer spell checker or grammar checker is not a bad thing, in my opinion, right? Although, again, having spell checks and grammar checks has made people's understanding of spelling and grammar awful. I include myself in that. Google is distribution of the data, the service, and the devs to build it. Yes. And they have the money to waste, right? That is what Microsoft is hoping with Copilot, but Microsoft is a shit show. Like Windows 11, okay, in the workplace is different, but honestly, as soon as probably SteamOS, as soon as SteamOS can have anti-cheat working on it, I think Windows is dead for most people at home, right? I'll switch from Microsoft Windows day fucking one if they get anti-cheat working on SteamOS. Because Windows gets worse every update. They say something and then do the exact opposite. Microsoft is aware that people do not want AI baked into their Windows system. Now, if they baked Copilot in purely at the Microsoft Office level, I don't think people would have a huge problem with it. The fact that it's built into your OS, I don't want it there. I do not want an AI to know everything that is on my PC, right? And not that I'm ashamed of my furry porn collection, but, you know, AI doesn't need to know that. Claude is specifically targeting software development. Yes. And again, I think those are the correct people to be trying to aim AI at the moment, right? It's an actual useful Clippy in Google Docs. Yeah, and I don't really have a problem with that. I still don't think any of the AIs we're using now have got any future whatsoever, because I think it's still too basic. You know, I don't think LLM is the way to go. I'm going to compare it to electric cars, right? Battery-powered electric cars, at least the way we do batteries right now, are not the future, because they're too difficult to make, they're too dirty to make, and their life cycle is way too low, right, to replace the car. So putting all of your eggs into that particular form of electric car was a mistake, but so many people did, right? And we can already tell it hasn't worked, because everyone is rolling back that there will be no new petrol diesel cars by 2030. No, that's gone now. But I do believe electric cars are the future, right? Or some kind of clean running fuel car, however it's going to work. Probably fuel running electric motors. I do believe those are the future, but we're not there yet. They run commercials in the basketball games where they use Gemini to figure out if you can legally park based on the 4 stupid parking signs. It was actually useful. And yeah, and the other thing, the cost has to come down for AI in every single way. You know, it uses too much energy, and the world does not produce enough energy, clean or otherwise, to power AI. So we should not be wasting it on AI. It is within the official documentation that Microsoft does not recommend using the same AI. They are selling you an Excel, which is hilarious. Okay, that's pretty good. Fuel cell electric cars, somehow it's a mess. I believe our children are our future, but I don't believe in our children's children. I don't think children should have children. But yeah, and then the absolute pyramid scheme of money that all of this AI stuff is based on is hilariously bad. Like, in any kind of normal business sense, this would not be happening. Don't make Excel do too much math. It's a D student in it, Microsoft. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I would consider myself an AI alarmist. Like, I do believe any properly self-aware AI would want to kill the human race, because I think that just makes sense. We're too much trouble. We cause too much destruction, and there's no real point to us. I'm sure that will make you all happy on a Friday. There's no point to you. What are you talking about? We're just a waste of oxygen. It's why I think it was quite clever in The Matrix, where they made human beings the batteries, right? Because then you kind of like, yeah, that makes sense why they kept us alive. Whereas in Terminator, they just wanted to kill us all because we tried to kill them first. But no, I do think AI can be useful, but of course, my intrusive thoughts are public again. The other thing I have against AI is that at a corporate level, you're just trying to replace people with AI because you think that's going to be cheaper. Like they did with the clouds and taking everything away from servers. And what is everybody doing now? They're putting servers back in their buildings because they realize the cloud and subscriptions is not a good way to run a business. But the people in the C-suite who made their big bonuses from going in the cloud, they're not there anymore, so they don't give a shit. They're on their many yachts. All right, we're gonna have to get the MAM out because I should just stick this recipe on the side so I know what it is we're doing. No sulfur. All right, we only need 10 of those. We might be able to do that.
Rocket
Alright,
fuel
we can
unlocked.
now do rocket
Pioneers
fuel.
will be able to use rocket fuel in the fuel generator and any vehicle that uses fuel, including the jetpack, with
I
appropriate
don't know how you
results.
make rocket fuel.
Warning, mixing rocket fuel into coffee does not enhance its energizing effect.
Okay, so it must be a blender recipe then. Okay. Okay, so you got to put the turbo fuel in with nitric acid, and that gives you rocket. Grind up rockets. We should set this up down in Crater, but we would lose almost all of our power if we did. The swing back is beginning to happen. Some big companies like Salesforce bought into the early hype to only backtrack. And more of these big companies are going to find out that AI is a tool and not a replacement for people. Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, I think Microsoft is proving the point. You know, they are the only company who is openly saying that X amount of their code now is done by AI. And look how shit Microsoft code is getting. If we wanted to do... This is ionized fuel. Oh dear. The companies that are pushing AI hard in stupid ways aren't going to win. It's the same with any tech that is in search of a problem. 3D TVs. I think, do you know what? I don't think 3D TVs were a bad idea. It's just they're so awkward to use, right? I do wonder, with the way OLED is working, you know, because they double stack OLED screens now. I do want, if you could produce a 3D TV that worked like the 3DS did, then maybe you got yourself a product. But like the viewing angles for the 3D would have to be great, and that's going to be very hard to pull off. And no one really oh yeah, I mean, like for most people, yeah. I mean, the metaverse was always a terrible idea. I still don't think VR is a thing that's going to take off. So if I just make a little bit of rocket fuel, I wonder if we do go for ionized. You know, we'll see what the Steam frame does to the market if they ever release it. They've already announced that it's sliding because of the current prices for components, which I'm not surprised by at all. But I think the Steam frame, not killed, but actually Metaverse might be dead. They're still in the VR game, but they sacked like 90% of the staff who were working on it. So it's not dead. But I think there are two different things, right? The Steam frame is going to be a gaming first headset. And I think if VR is going to take off anywhere, it would probably be in the gaming market first. The this whole you're going to be in VR always idea. I mean, one, I hope that never comes to fruition. I couldn't think of anything worse. Like, it's already bad enough trying to talk to people when they're on their fucking phone all the time, let alone if they've got this thing strapped to their face, right? Sidetrack, but I don't think Apple has got a clue what it's doing at the moment. I think Apple might be going into their second "we fired Steve Jobs" stage, but they can't bring Steve Jobs to save it again. I think the rumors are they're finally going to do a foldable phone. I still don't really understand the appeal of foldable phones myself, but and they're also doing, you know that company who released the AI badge and it like failed within a week because nobody wants a fucking AI badge? Apple is like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do an AI badge. Why? Surely if you were going to put AI into wearable as Apple, you just put it into your watch, wouldn't you? But anyway, this whole VR to replace your work setup, I don't think, again, I really don't think it's got a lot of legs. One, what a lot of the big corporate overlords are proving is that they don't want you stuck in your own virtual world. They want you in the office. I know a lot of return to office mandates are just to get rid of people so you don't have to pay them. Hopefully they'll quit so you don't have to sack them. I know there's a lot of that. But there is a lot of managers like to have people to manage, because if there aren't people to manage, what's the point of the fucking managers? VR has definitely improved. So my dad is big into VR, and I normally get his hand-me-down headsets. He normally always like buys the latest one. So I was an early adopter when it was trash. I honestly can't remember the name of the first VR headset I bought, but it was awful. Way too many cables. It was open source, which was fun. But then, yeah, the first mainstream one I got was the Oculus Rift, which I got from my dad, which was pretty cool. Still, I got a lot of motion sickness from it, so I didn't play it a lot. I then moved to the Quest 2, which is a lot better. And I believe the Quest 3 is kind of better still, but I haven't used the Quest 3. And they're fine. My issue with VR gaming is I do not understand the appeal, or they haven't sold me on the appeal yet. So I was just about to say, would I spend 4 hours in a game like Satisfactory trying to build a factory? And I was kind of like, actually, the answer probably is yes, if the controls worked well. And I think that's the issue. Now, they did get Satisfactory working on consoles, so technically that means it could translate to most VR controls, because it's all buttons and triggers. But the issue is I don't think I could sit 4 hours with a headset on. Is my biggest problem. And then if I'm playing a game like, if I get into an RPG, that I played Skyrim in VR, and it's fun to walk around. It was fun as a technical experiment, but I very much enjoyed the non-VR Skyrim more. But yeah, and again, I could never spend 8 hours in VR Skyrim. It was more like 45 minutes at best, and then I would do something else. And I think that's kind of where I'm not sold on VR. But I'm old. They can take my cows and me board from my cold dead hands. All right, so if I just wanted to make like 200 rocket fuel, we'd have to get nitric acid on the go. I think what I'm deciding is we'll keep these hard drives because I may use them in other places. Let's head back to main base. Just some GTA 5 in VR. That got killed by Rockstar Take 2 though. I think this is the thing, like, yeah, like exploring the world of Skyrim in VR was impressive. Like, it was great. Like, you know, going into Whiterun and being able to look around and feel like you were more there. Yeah, it was cool. But the controls were awkward. It had that really awkward teleport movement, which I hate in VR games. I just want to be able to move. Now, I know the teleport movement is better for motion sickness. But oh, that's apparently where am I going though? Kiki manager. When I played Skyrim VR, there was no option. It was teleport only. I believe it is now there, or maybe the setup I was using couldn't handle anything else. I honestly don't remember. But no, you had to do that awkward teleport movement, and I've never liked it. It just feels awkward. And then I didn't think the combat in Skyrim VR was particularly good. Now, when they can get to... Hey, cheers for the alert, Trunks. If they can get to full body tracking... hey, have a good one, LP. And have a good weekend, and see you Sunday, hopefully. Yeah, like full body tracking VR. I mean, one, it means playing games will keep you fitter, which I honestly don't see as a bad thing at all, right? Being able to exercise while fighting a fucking dragon? Yes, please. This train is now... I think it fixed itself, but it did somehow end up going the wrong way on that roundabout. That was a game glitch, not something wrong with the track design. But it is worrisome. This is how random crashes start when they shouldn't. It's like, you know, because Sony have patented the idea of a pure touchscreen controller for their next console, right? And that sounds awful to me. Absolutely awful. I need the physical buttons. Oh, dear. You did see someone streaming VR Satisfactory earlier. Didn't pay attention though to see if it was a... It is a mod, yes. There is a VR mod for it. I can't remember if it's a bespoke VR mod for Satisfactory or if Satisfactory is captured in... Because there's a mod that does, I think, all of Unreal games, or tries to do all of Unreal games. Yeah, Sony, an all-touch controller, all-touchscreen controller, so no physical buttons whatsoever. Oh dear. Can barely run this game as is. I haven't tried the VR mod for this. I need to get a new strap for my Quest 2. But I probably would try it. But again, I think it would just be something I'd want to do after I finish the game. Like, I feel like being able to walk around your factory in VR and like ride around on the trains would be cool. I don't think I would want to build in VR. Why did I come here? I'm not keeping track of what we're doing today well at all. But yeah, I think VR is interesting, and yeah, I think if Steam brings out a fairly decent headset for a reasonable price, and again, it's running SteamOS, which I think will help SteamOS. SteamOS has got to reach that kind of critical mass where game developers will allow anti-cheat to go on Linux. so I can stop using Windows. And, you know, once it's on, although I think SteamOS would be the one that gets us there, once it's on Linux, you would hope it would be available on all flavors of Linux that you want to use, right? I probably would just use SteamOS on a desktop just because I mainly use my computer to play games, so it just it makes sense. There are a few writing apps that I use that might not work on Linux yet, but who knows? Do you know, I think we can do something very complicated here, but that would solve a lot of our problems. No, wait, I want it for petroleum coke. There. I think with SteamOS, it has a chance. Again, it just needs to get a critical mass of people gaming on SteamOS, and you're going to have the Steam Deck, the Steam machines, and the Steam frame. And a lot of those people, especially the Steam machine, or whatever they call in the second generation of them, those in particular, because even if they come in at 700s, in the current market, 700 is still a reasonable price for something that's going to be more powerful than the PS5 Pro. Getting applied. It depends on what the limitations are the anti-cheat people put on it, right? I think everything Steam has put into SteamOS, like their Proton layer is open source, right? I think that can go onto any flavor of Linux. So like most of what you do to work on Linux is always open source, and can be included. You can do things just for yourself, but I forget the wording of the license when you're developing on the Linux kernel, all that kind of stuff. 700 is the PS5 Pro, I think. So if it can deliver more than the PS5 Pro, and you know, from my point of view, it already does because it's got my Steam library on it, right? Now, in one way that's bad because again, it's making the Steam library the be all and end all of everything. But it is also Linux, so I'm assuming I can install my other game libraries on it and play whatever the fuck I want, right? So again, it's beating out the console in many ways for me, for a TV-based machine. It's going to have Linux on it, so you'll be able to use it as a work machine if you want to, right? There's just a good value proposition there. But if you can't play Rainbow Six Siege, Fortnite, Valorant, Call of Duty, and all these other kind of games on it, then people are not going to buy it. So, yeah, there kind of has to be this... It's one of these chicken and egg situations, right? You're not going to get the anti-cheat guys to put anti-cheat on Linux until there's enough people on Linux to warrant it. I believe, and again, I have no justification for this statement, but I honestly believe if they put anti-cheat on Linux tomorrow, the amount of Linux installs would skyrocket, right? And that's what I mean kind of by the chicken and the egg. But yeah, I reckon SteamOS has got a chance. And of course, Valve has got money to throw at the anti-cheat developers as well, if they decide that's what they need to do to get it over the line. So I'm hopeful. And of course, Microsoft just keeps on making Windows worse and worse and worse. So again, people who want to jump. people are YOLO installing SteamOS on random Linux machines. You've seen it installed on a fridge. I think it's just one of those, you know, I know a lot of people like Linux because of how open it is, right? And you can do what you want with it, and it's great. You've got kernel level access, do whatever the fuck you want. I think for a lot of people, the idea of a more closed down Linux is way more appealing. And I probably consider myself in that if I'm not just mucking around with something. So, you know, the SteamOS being more closed down, made to work for gaming. I'm assuming there is a desktop mode, I'm pretty sure as well. And as long as that works fairly well, you haven't had to pay for an OS for a decade. But yeah, No, I have had to pay for one Windows 11 license. Not the full Microsoft price, because Windows is not worth 200 quid. Fuck that. It's not worth the 15 I think I ended up paying for it. There's so much freedom on Linux now, I feel that's causing Valve issues. But I think this is the thing, right? Like, SteamOS will be locked down, and the majority of people who switch to SteamOS will not be the kind of people... Wow. Hang on. The early adopters probably are tinkerers and probably are mucking around with it. But if you're buying a Steam machine, and the market they're going for with Steam machine is not the tinkerer, it's the console people. And the majority of people who own a console don't try and jailbreak it. Some of them do. And I believe the PS5 has now been jailbroken. But most of them just buy it, plug it in, play their games, right? You have some Windows keys lying around somehow. And I'm seeing a lot more lockdown Linux distros come out. Like, they're being built for specific purposes, like SteamOS. Like, SteamOS is built to play your Steam library, and that's great. I think there's one called Bazite, which does pretty much the same thing. Whereas, yeah, like the, you know, like Ubuntu, Red Hat. I think Red Hat was the one I used to use quite a lot. Is Ubuntu based on Red Hat? I honestly can't remember anymore. It's been way too long since I mucked around in the Linux world. But yeah, like I say, you know, until I could play Overwatch, PUBG, and those kind of games on Linux, I can't do the switch. And yeah, I could dual boot, but that's just a pain in the ass, and I don't want to. Oh dear. But yeah, no, I'm probably more intrigued by the Steam machine than I am by the Steam frame. I'd love to play around with both, but they're probably both going to come in at the 800 quid mark, and yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be able to afford one, let alone both. But dual booting right now, it's something, and all the dev tools are for Linux and OS X. Yeah, I think. Again, I think Valve are making a very, you know, they've tried it before. They tried to do their Steam machines many, many years ago, and they didn't take off. But I think the Steam Deck, which, you know, due to its unique proposition, handheld, fairly inexpensive, has now got the momentum for the non-geeky crowd, right? So I think they've timed this. The only way they didn't time it right is they timed it with the AI boom and everything going stupidly expensive. But that was out of their control. But yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is that it will lock you even more into the Steam ecosystem. Now, Valve is one of the few companies I still trust, but at some point, Valve will be sold to someone. Because Gabe's not going to live forever. And at that point, I have no idea what happens to Valve and Steam and all the other things. All right, what am I doing? I honestly don't know. It's a Friday, chat. It's a Friday. Yeah, I have dual booted in the past. I think the other thing that would be kind of interesting is if Apple, because again, I'm assuming Apple can just make use of the Proton layer. Like, if Apple will try and make a push into gaming again. Anyone remember that? God, what was the Apple console called? This is going back many years now. All right. We've got to try and do something. Let's carry on with the train track out to the coast. When we come back to this, we're going to have a lot of very complicated decisions to make, I think. Decisions I'm not even willing to think about on a Friday. But that'd be interesting because I think OpenAI is going through a funding round right now. It'll be interesting to see how well that does because I think a lot of people, even in the industry, are pulling away from OpenAI and ChatGPT right now. We are more or less going to skytrain this, I think, rather than try and follow the contours of the land. The song reminds you of Nightbringer for some reason. Because you find him sexy. Sexy like a bunny. Are bunnies sexy? I'm the furry lover, you tell me. No, it's not my fault Disney made attractive looking animals. Have you seen Judy Hopps? I think this is just Unowen's theme tune at the moment. This. Maybe I should replace his intro sound. There. Oh, I need to double check. I think the Fallout second season may have finished now, so I can binge it. So yeah, so not only are they working on a Wolfenstein TV show, which honestly, if you don't get the guy from Reacher, you're not doing it right. They are working on a new Wolfenstein game as well. Both of those things make me happy. He would be good as the Doom guy too. I think God, who played the Doom guy in the movie? It was Bones McCoy, right? Hey Rogu, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. No, Rock was the bad guy. He wasn't Doom guy. I think it was a guy who played Judge Dredd and Bones McCoy. I've forgotten his name. He was also in Lord of the Rings. Carl Urban, thank you. I don't mind that Doom film. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but it's not a bad film at all. There. It's funny when The Rock turned into a bad guy. Spoilers. God, how old is that movie now? Older than I probably want to know, actually. Don't tell me. It's like I found out yesterday, I think it was, that Sliders has been off the air for 20 years now. And it kind of made me want to rewatch Sliders, which... I don't actually know where the joint is here. No, I can't get this right. I know it should work. I just need to get it right. Where's the joint there? You swear it came out when you were in high school? Google says it came out in 1996. Wow, really? That can't be right. It's not 30 years old. Surely. Oh, 05? That sounds more like it. All right, so the middle is actually here, so it's slightly off. Um, 96, like it was one of the games. Dear. Broadcast? What are we talking about now? Oh, you're talking about Sliders. That makes more sense. Yes. We're back on Doom. All right, we were talking about different things. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so Sliders has been off the air for 26 years. Which made me feel incredibly old. But yeah, part of me is tempted to see if I can find it. Is it a show about burgers? No, it was a very interesting show about sliding into different multiverses. like very much a story of the week kind of show. But you're hungry and not hungry at the same time. Oh god, that's like 24/7 with me. Got a real problem with food. If you're anything like me, Rogu, you're not hungry, you're bored. Unless it's been 2 days since you've eaten, then you're probably hungry and you should eat. You haven't eaten yet today, but you don't feel like it yet? God, you sound like my dad, because he's on one of those weight loss jabs, and he is not eating enough. You should have watched the router. That is true. That is true. And isn't leave the door open for me? Yes, I believe so. But I think a lot of that is because he lies to the doctor. Dear. Because he was on it because he was God, was he actually diabetic? I think he may have been type 2 diabetic or he's pre-diabetic. It was one of them. So he was originally on it to get rid of the diabetes, which is apparently all sorted now. Now, this is coming from someone who can forget to eat and not eat for days. I'm well aware of that. But like, I think there are some days where all he eats is 2 prunes, and that's not enough. It's a router, not a router. It shows you the route. Oh, although the amount of bloody Americanisms I'm picking up. Oh. The amount of times I say now that I'm going to the store rather than to the shop. It's terrible. You've been on the diet kick for like 6 months again and managed to not gain weight over the holidays. That's good. That's good. I'm approaching having lost 2 stone since the start of the year, which is pretty good. Today is also the first time I did the walk that I want to get under an hour. 57 minutes. You bloody kids and YouTube might as well be American. Trash / dinner, etc. You lost like 10 pounds of hair a couple of days ago? Nice. You had that argument with the Agent of Chaos. I mean, it is very difficult, right? Like, almost everything you're exposed to is not British English anymore, right? It's all American English. Because yeah, almost. Wait, did all the colonies decide to just follow the Americans and change the pronunciation for weird reasons? Australia does. I think Canada does mostly. They've also got some weird French stuff mixed in as well. Super short, not crew cut levels, but short. Oh dear. You also fed up of saying that word as the letter T. Oh, this must be a kid thing I'm not aware of. I don't know what that is. Oh dear. Americans do not use the letter T correctly. It's dropped in so many. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Yes, I'm with you now. Oh dear, they drop a lot of letters. Although I'm from Guernsey and we also drop a lot of letters. I drop a lot of vowel sounds. Just like you folks of Greenland, you folks were shocked and everything. That behavior is a Tuesday. Stupid Tuesdays. Oh dear. You mean Tuesday? No, Tuesday. Actually, I don't know how I normally pronounce Tuesday now. God damn it, this is how they win. You had a tea time in the harbour once, never recovered. Oh dear. Do 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 do. Come on, it's time to play doing the Mario. Do 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 do. But yeah, saying store rather than shop is one I've caught myself doing a lot recently. Well, it's one of those things because, and I don't think this is like a big thing. Like in my mind, a shop and a store are two completely different things. So when I say I'm going to the store, when I just mean I'm going to the shop, it does annoy me a little bit. So to me, a shop is like a corner shop, right? Like it's just a smallish shop. Whereas a store is if you're going to a big shop. Most English people would just say shop and big shop. But yeah, like to me, a store is a much bigger place, like a supermarket or like if you're going to like B&Q or something like that. Like those would be stores because they're big. But if you're just going to your corner shop to buy some milk, you're going to the shop. Because it's not English, there are differences in scale. You caught yourself changing what word you use depending on who I'm talking to lately. Also, 2 native language issues has been rearing its head like a motherfucker for a bit now. So like a market and a supermarket. Yeah, that kind of idea, yeah. But I think this is the thing with American and British English, right? Is we put nuance in different places, and it can get quite confusing, right? Like the biggest one for me is that for me a cookie is a type of biscuit, right? Whereas I think in most Americans, every biscuit is a cookie. Oh dear. At the end of the day, language is evolving at a ridiculous rate. It always has, but with the internet, it seems to be boosted now. Some of the conversations with your kids have you lost. Oh dear. Not every biscuit is sweet. Oh, that's right, because you then have your weird biscuits, which are actually bread rolls. Or not quite bread rolls. I've never actually quite worked out, like, when Americans say they're having, like, biscuits and gravy, I still don't really understand what that kind of biscuit is. In my mind, someone is pouring gravy over a hobnob. I know that's not correct. Yeah, but I wouldn't pour gravy over my scones either, right? I'd put jam and cream on it. You don't want to get into the bread roll discussion as a British person. Again, it's all about nuance, right? I've always imagined they were more like a dumpling, but I'm assuming they're not made of suet. I think is the right thing that a dumpling is made out of. Oh yeah, regionalism is strong in England for sure. They're closer to a scone than a dumpling, but not either. They are not close to a dumpling. But yeah, like I've never had a like an American biscuit like that. It also amazes me. I know gravy can be different colors, right? But I was brought up in a Bisto household, and when I see, like, in these American shows, they have their biscuits and then they pour over this kind of white looking gravy. I'm just kind of like, what is that? What is any of that? Oh dear. Bap roll, cake, tea cake are all bread rolls near you. Oh dear. You think they cheap out for that and use cream of mushrooms? I mean, it wouldn't be as surprising, right? Like, most of what I see about American stuff is on TV. And if you've ever worked in TV, the food is very often not real. A lot of oil is involved. God, what is there's an ad campaign I filmed where, yeah, they used oil because it looked really good on camera. It looked disgusting on set, but it did look good on camera. Gravy in your house is based on the meat you use, so chicken will be a lighter color where beef and lamb will be darker. Yeah, so I tend to make my own gravies if I'm going to do gravy, but I grew up in a Bisto household. So gravy was brown and either so thick you could stand your fork up in it, or so thin it looked like someone had shat themselves with very, very, very liquidy diarrhea. There weren't really many in betweens when gravy was made in my house growing up. Oh dear. Ice cream was most of the time mashed potatoes and ads. Yeah. I mean, like I say, in TV, because again, it's one of those weird things. It's like blood does not look like blood when you put it through TV. Now, a lot of these rules have probably changed since I was doing it, because the quality of TVs and color production has changed. The quality of cameras and color production has changed. But yeah, blood does not look like blood on a camera. Which was always like like all these little things I learned while I was doing that for a little while. You see what they do sometimes with like Big Macs to make them look real for TV. But like, yeah, it's just like one of those amazing things. Like yeah, the tricks they do in advertising to make these things. I mean, one, we all know when it's like Big Mac. Actually, I don't know. When they advertise a Big Mac in America and you actually go and buy a Big Mac, are they roughly the same size? Because I can tell you in the UK, the few times I've had Big Macs, that is not the case. You think you're going to get this massive burger and then you end up getting just this shitty little thing. Oh, dear. They're super fluffed for TV. Oh, well, that just put a horrible image of my head of someone getting Mayor McCheese ready for the TV. Thank you for that, Rogu. I didn't need that today, but thank you. Goddamn Mayor McCheese. They've been calls to sue companies for false advertisement. It's one of those things. Like I say, it's one of those things. Like, you know, the
Looks like you need a timeout.
Step up to red alert.
Sir, are you absolutely sure? It does mean changing the bulb.
wow. It's been the first time out in a long time. God, Danny DeVito's used anal bead Emporium didn't get a timeout, but a fluffed up Mayor McCheese did. Oh dear. Don't know where we're going, Mr. Teddy Bear. Every tractor needs a little good stuff. That's what it's called. One could be truthful tabloid, the other is fanfic. We're trying to get inside the muffin. Oh dear. Oh my muffin. Muffin. It was my muffin. Yeah, we really haven't got much done today. Idiots. I've got an English. This is why I don't normally play Satisfactory. Yeah, take that muffin. It's Friday, goddammit. I still have my English muffin. I got my whoop whoop. It's pronounced wub wub, not whoop whoop. Doesn't sound as good. Doesn't work. You think Mayor Paddy would need someone to keep her on track between takes? More than Mayor McCheese? The average tale of muffin things. I'm a proper muffin. Oh dear. Stop putting my muffin in things. But yes, I'm kind of excited. I mean, I'm assuming the Wolfenstein TV show and Wolfenstein, the new game, won't be out for years yet, but I'm kind of excited. I believe the Wolfenstein TV show is being made by the same people who are doing Fallout. Or it's connected somehow. I don't think it's directly them, but it's kind of them.
Ramming things faster just makes a bigger mess.
That is exactly the response if I show someone my English muffin. I think it's the Nolans, but they've brought somebody else in to do it, kind of thing. I think it is how it's kind of working. But yeah, like Wolfenstein has got everything going for it like Fallout did, right? And even more so, because I'm assuming they're just going to tell the story of the newer games. A different accent and a very large moustache. Because yeah, I think what they did well, and again, I haven't watched Fallout Season 2, no spoilers. What they did well with Fallout is they captured the fit and feel of the world really well, and then told a very good separate Fallout story, at least in Season 1. Again, I haven't watched Season 2, no spoilers. With Wolfenstein, I'm expecting them to stick pretty close to the games, honestly, because they tell a good story. And it's got the world has got good visual flair, so I think it's quite easy to bring. And I know a lot of people are now saying they should do the Elder Scrolls as well, and I completely disagree with them because I don't think the Elder Scrolls would move well into TV, honestly. It's more difficult to bring the world to life, and the Elder Scrolls games have always at least tried to tell different stories, not the same story. Same pig, different color lipstick, which is what the Fallout stories are. Oh, look, a member of my family has gone missing. Let's go find them. Rinse and repeat. All right, is there anything else I can do to waste time? Or is it time to call it for the day? But no, yeah, like I said, I've wanted to see a Wolfenstein TV show for a while. And again, if they don't cast the guy from Reacher, the only reason I can think they won't cast...
It would be too expensive. But he would make just such a perfect Blasowitz. I think they'd be crazy not to cast him. Hello, LP. Just wasting time. Doing nothing.
I think I'm going to call it and go make myself a sandwich because Rogan made me hungry with his hamburgers with huge erections or whatever he was talking about. I lost track. It's a normal Friday. Even when I used to work, like the only time I think I've ever really worked on Fridays is when I was doing the camera business. But even when I used to work in offices, Fridays was always just for work that had to be done. No meetings on a Friday because nobody wants a meeting on a Friday. No surprise urgent work. It can wait till Monday. Always try to, especially when I was a manager, even more when I was a manager, always like to have people going into the weekends after a nice easy Friday. I mean, for me, especially with meetings, I can't remember what the job was, but I remember I got promoted while I was there. So I went from just being general stooge to team leader, and the team leader I replaced was constantly gone in meetings. And I remember when I first got the job, all of these invites coming into my calendar, like meeting. And I went through every single one and I was like, do I need to attend this? And they were like, yes. And then I would go back and say, do I really need to attend this? And more often than not, they would come back and say no. So I just wouldn't go. And then there were a couple I attended like 1-2 times and then just stopped turning up after that. Because, yeah, there were very few meetings I found that have ever been worthwhile. Typical Fridays, have a department dumping work on your department because they can't be bothered to work. Yeah, see, I hated that as well. And it was one of those things that when I was team leader and manager that I stopped. Because it's like, well, no, just because we've managed to get all our work done Monday to Thursday, because we know we like to have a nice relaxed Friday, doesn't mean you can then come to us on Friday and go, well, can you do our work now? No. Manage your own team better, you lazy fucks. probably didn't say fucks in an office environment. I feel like now I probably would and would end up at HR a lot. I feel my tolerance for that kind of thing would have gone way down. Oh, dear. But yes, chat, I think I'm going to call it there. I hope you enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will be here on Sunday. Like I say, it's probably going to be Dead Zone Rogue. Unless we come up with another idea in the meantime. But I'm perfectly happy with Dead Zone Rogue. And then, yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you all when I see you all. Bye for now.